Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with Jeff Grant, SBR contributor, and today we're going to be looking at that college football game between the Syracuse Orange and the Clemson Tigers. How you doing this morning, Jeff?
Couldn't be doing better, Dax. Excited to talk about this ACC matchup, as I think we're going to find that there's an overreaction in the market, and a lot of people are placing their money on the road underdog, and that's always dangerous, especially as we get later in the season.
And especially finding about the fact that it's about time that the Syracuse finally broke that 4-game losing streak last week against Wake Forest. Now, do you think that this extra motivation after winning that game could translate into them getting the win heading into Death Valley?
This is a troublesome spot for the Syracuse Orange. When looking over the schedule, yes, they played some top-flight competition of the likes of Notre Dame and Florida State. Even head coach Scott Schaefer mentioned that he watched that game because his team had played both those squads. But now you have a victory off of Wake Forest and now traveling back-to-back games on the road for the first time this season. Why is that significant? In his first year, yes, it's a different team, but they did bring back a lot of starters, and they struggled in this situation. When playing the second game of a back-to-back road trip, Dax, they were outscored by a 115-3 margin in games against Georgia Tech and Florida State. So those aren't very good numbers if you're looking to come back on Syracuse in this affair.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Now, we've all seen that Clemson has mostly been a defensive-minded football team in this 2014 season, and now even more since the starting quarterback, Deshaun Watson, is still down with his injury. Now, considering that, do you think that the Tigers actually have enough weapons on the offensive side of the ball to cover those 14 points, man?
They're not going to have to be very good offensively until they get Deshaun Watson back. He's expected back in the game against Georgia Tech on November 15th. So this is really allowing Cole Stout, who was the original starter to begin the season, Dax, to really just gain comfort in the pocket and pilot this team to victories in this spot, a homecoming game, and then going on the road against downtrodden Wake Forest before getting Watson back for a stretch against Georgia Tech and then closing out the season against South Carolina. He's going to have a lot of short fields here. Clemson's defense is arguably the best in the country. They have 10 contributing seniors. Why is that significant? This is the homecoming game in Death Valley. Also Stout, a senior, will be very comfortable, and he'll want to put his best performance as a collegiate in the homecoming game. So there's a lot to like. I think they're going to have a lot of short fields here because Syracuse has had 6 different combinations in 7 games on the offensive line going against arguably, once again, the best defensive front in college football. And one stat that I found very interesting, when you figure that Syracuse is going to punt the ball a lot, Dax, they are averaging just 34.3 yards in net punting. That is absolutely atrocious. I bet you could punt the ball farther than that.
All right, man. So what type of bet are you going to recommend for this one, man?
I just think this is a bad spot for Syracuse. I think a lot of people are attracted to the original number of 15 and a half, which has caused the number to drift back to basically 14 and a half in the market. Syracuse, 54 penalties on the year. That's double the amount of Clemson. So when you're traveling in one of the worst environments, one of the toughest environments in college football in Death Valley, that's a troublesome statistic. And also Clemson, 11-0 straight up, 8-2-1 against the spread as favorites of 10.5 to 21 points the last 2+ seasons. So I'm going to lay the number with Clemson over Syracuse.
All right, good stuff, Jeff. As always, my man, it's a pleasure talking football with you, and I look forward to doing it again tomorrow.
Thank you.
No problem. For SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.